गुड मॉर्निंग डैलस, गुड इवनिंग इंडिया, गुड इवनिंग भारत। बोलता हूँ आप सबको, आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी का प्यार भरा नमस्कार। आज का दिन है मार्च 30th 2025। हाँ जी, 3 महीने में इस साल का ऐसे गुजर गया जैसे कुछ पता ही नहीं चला। और आज का एक स्पेशल डे ये है, आज युगादि का दिन है। तो हर जगह युगादि मनाई जा रही है, और एज वेल एज गुड़ी पाड़वा भी बोलते हैं। हैप्पी युगादि एंड हैप्पी गुड़ी पाड़वा टू ऑल ऑफ यू, एंड ऑल्सो हैप्पी ईद। कई कंट्रीज में ईद भी मनाए जा रहे हैं, और यूएसए में भी कई लोग मना रहे हैं, और इंडिया में भी मना रहे हैं, और मिडिल ईस्ट वगैरह में भी। सो हैप्पी युगादि एंड हैप्पी ईद टू ऑल ऑफ यू, एंड आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी एक और बार आप सबको भारत अन्वेषण कार्यक्रम में स्वागत करता हूँ। आज का दिन जो है एक स्पेशल इसलिए भी है कि आज हमारे साथ एक स्पेशल गेस्ट भी है, उनके बारे में थोड़ी देर में हम बताएंगे। वो हमारे शो पे ऑलरेडी आ चुकी है एक बार, लेकिन लोग जैसे बोलते हैं ना, ह्यूमन ब्रेन जो मेमोरी है थोड़ा शॉर्ट ल्यूड होता है, तो लोग भूल जाते हैं। लेकिन उनके बारे में थोड़ा बताएंगे, थोड़ी देर आपको वेट करना पड़ेगा। चलिए आज का कार्यक्रम शुरू करेंगे। प्रति इतवार को जब हम ये कार्यक्रम शुरू करते हैं, उसके पहले भगवान को जरूर याद करके शुरू करते हैं। आज भी हम भगवान को याद करके शुरू करेंगे। आइए।
जटाटवीकलज्जलं प्रवाहपावितस्थले कलेवलं व्यलम्बिताम्बुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिकां टमट्टमट्टमट्टमन्निनादवट्टमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिवः शिवम् जटाकटाः सम्भ्रमभ्रमन्निलिम्बनिर्झरि विलोलवीचिवल्लरी विराजमानमूर्धनि भगज्वलल्ललाटपट्टपावके किशोरचन्द्रशेखरे रतिप्रतीक्षणम् धराधरेन्द्रनन्दिनी विलासबन्धुबन्धुरसुरद्दिगन्तसन्तति प्रमोदमानमानसे कृपाकटाक्षधोरणि निरुद्धदुर्धरापदि क्वचिद्दिगम्बरे मनोविनोदमेतु वस्तुनि पिङ्गलस्फुरत्फणामणिप्रभा कदम्ब कुङ्कुमद्रव प्रलिप्तदिग्वधूमुखे मदाङ्गसिन्धुरस्फुरत्वगुत्तरीय मेदुरे मनोविनोदमद्भुतं बिभर्तु भूतभर्तरी सहस्रलोचन प्रभृत्य शेषलेखशेखर प्रसूनधूलिधोरणि विधूसराङ्किती प्रभु भुजङ्गराजमानयामि बद्धजाटजूटक श्रियै चिराय जायतां चकोरबन्धुशेखरः ललाटचत्वरज्वलद्धनञ्जय स्फुलिङ्गधानि पीतपञ्चसायकं नमन्निलिम्बनायकं सुधामयूखलेखया विराजमानशेखरं महाकपालि सम्पदे शिरोजटालमस्तु नः धरालभालमट्टिका धगद्धगद्धगज्ज्वल धनञ्जयाहुति कृता प्रचण्ड पञ्चसायते धराधरेन्द्रनन्दिनी कुचाग्रचित्रपत्रक प्रकल्पनैकशिल्पिनी त्रिलोचने रते नवीनमेघमण्डली निरुद्धदुर्धरस्फुरद्भूनि शीतिनी तव प्रबन्धबद्धकन्धर निलिम्बनिर्झरीधरस्तनोतु कृत्तिसिन्धुर कलानिधानबन्धुरः श्रियं जगद्धुरन्धरः प्रफुल्लनीलपङ्कजा प्रपञ्चकालिमप्रभावलम्बिकण्ठगण्डलीरुचिप्रभ गच्चिदानगच्चिदं तमन्तगच्चिदं भजे। अथर्व सर्वमङ्गला
गुड मॉर्निंग डैलस, गुड मॉर्निंग मेरीलैंड बोल सकता हूँ, एंड ऑल्सो गुड इवनिंग भारत, हमारे इंडिया। आज का दिन स्पेशल इसलिए है कि आज गुड़ी पाड़वा और युगादि भी है और हमारे साथ एक स्पेशल गेस्ट भी है। उनके बारे में बताऊंगा, लेकिन सबसे पहले आप सबको थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ बिकॉज यू वॉच दिस शो एवरी वीक। अगर लाइव नहीं देख सकते हैं तो बाद में देखते हैं एंड अप्रिशिएट करते हैं, और हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं उनको सपोर्ट भी करते हैं अच्छे अच्छे कमेंट देके। ये करते रहिएगा, और हमारे चैनल का जो लिंक है प्लीज डू शेयर विद द पीपल एंड कीप सब्सक्राइबिंग, एंड आई रिक्वेस्ट देम टू सब्सक्राइब। सो द मोर द सब्सक्राइबर्स द मोर द व्यूअरशिप। हमारे गेस्ट भी खुश और हम भी खुश। चलिए आज का कार्यक्रम शुरू करते हैं। आज का एक बहुत ही स्पेशल टॉपिक है जो हर इंसान जानना चाहता है, हर इंसान को पता भी है और करता भी है। तो उसको बोलते हैं मल्टीटास्किंग। हाँ जी, मल्टीटास्किंग क्या होता है? इट्स द एबिलिटी टू परफॉर्म मोर देन वन टास्क साइमल्टेनियसली। हम लोग मैं इधर बात कर रहा हूँ और मैच भी देख रहा हूँ, और मैच के साथ ये भी कर रहा हूँ और कॉफी भी बना रहा हूँ। आई एम डूइंग सो मेनी टास्क एट वन टाइम, और एक ही टाइम में। और आई एम प्रेटी श्योर माई माइंड इज सेंडिंग डायरेक्शन, सेंडिंग वेव्स कि भाई इधर भी करो, उधर भी करो, इधर भी करो। और दो हाथ होते हैं, लेकिन हम चार हाथों का काम करना चाहते हैं एक ही टाइम में। बट इज इट गुड फॉर आवर ब्रेन? इज इट गुड फॉर आवर हेल्थ? ये आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे। हमारे साथ जो गेस्ट है उनके बारे में दो चार बातें मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ। शी इज अ साइकियाट्रिस्ट एंड होलिस्टिक वेलनेस कंसल्टेंट। शी इज करेंटली प्रैक्टिसिंग इन द वाशिंगटन डीसी एरिया, इसलिए मैंने मेरीलैंड बोला है। And after serving the government of India in many senior positions of almost more than 35 years. She is a gold medalist and recipient of many awards. She is also qualified obstetrician and a gynecologist and a certified international wellness coach with a diploma in Urdu language, अरे वाह, and a published poet and a writer. वो बहुत अच्छा लिखती है, एंड आई कीप रीडिंग हर आर्टिकल्स, आई कीप रीडिंग हर ब्लॉग्स। बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग होता है, विट्टी भी होते हैं कई जगह, बहुत ही काफ़ी सारे ह्यूमर होता है। तो शी हैज़ बीन इन ऑन आवर शो प्रीवियसली, एंड एंड शी इज़ अ वेरी गुड स्पीकर एंड वेरी गुड मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर मैं बोल सकता हूँ, एंड ऑल्सो a personality with full of positive vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Reshma Hingorani to our show. Reshma ji, welcome to Bharat Anveshan. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm very happy to come back to your show on a very holy and auspicious day as well, for
Absolutely true.
across religions and across the globe.
Absolutely true, Reshma ji, and it is so nice to have you on our show again. And it is जैसे बोलते हैं ना, एक वो ज्ञानोदय होता है आपसे बात करके। एक you feel that enlightened, because the way you speak, the way you bring your wealth of knowledge and share it with our people and with us, that is definitely remarkable feeling, I would say. तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words.
तो रेशमा जी, थोड़ा सा आप अपने बारे में हमारे दर्शकों को थोड़ा सा इंट्रो आप अपने बारे में बताइए। दैट वे आई नो पीपल हु नो यू, दे ऑलरेडी नो यू, बट द पीपल हु आर न्यू, लेट देम नो यू फ्रॉम यू ओनली।
तो सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको शायद पहले भी बोला होगा कि सबको बोलती हूँ जिसका जी कहीं नहीं लग रहा वो मेरे नाम के पीछे लगा दे। तो आप मुझे रेशमा जी बोलोगे तो मैं फिर साइकियाट्रिस्ट का हैट पहनकर आपका इलाज करूंगी कि आपका जी कहीं नहीं लग रहा है। सो आई एम रेशमा फॉर एवरीबडी। तो साइकियाट्री पहले ओबीजीवाईएन किया था, गायनिकोलॉजी, फिर फर्स्ट पैशन वाज ऑलवेज साइकियाट्री। जब करनी चाहिए थी तो माँ बाप ने बोला कि साइकियाट्रिस्ट पागल होते हैं, पागल नहीं होते तो दिखते तो पागल हैं ही, और नहीं होते तो कुछ सालों के बाद हो जाएंगे, मेहरबानी करो साइकियाट्री मत करो, ओबीजीवाईएन करो, औरतों को शोभा देता है। तो थ्री इडियट्स की तरह मैंने कर लिया। But then I had some near death experiences and some strange things happened. And then one of them, somebody asked me कि तुम मरने से पहले ये गायनी करके मरना है? I said no. So I decided if I survive, I will get to psychiatry. So quite a late age, I switched and I did my second post graduation. And then the same thing happened one more time, another near death experience. I was quite unhappy as a psychiatrist because I was seeing more patients in psychiatry than I was even seeing as an OBGYN. मैं 100 मरीज देख रही थी, किसी को मना नहीं कर सकते ना in India in a government hospital. So
Yeah.
I was so fed up, writing medicines all the time, and patients are saying, डॉक्टर साहब बात करनी है, और मैं बोल रही हूँ अगली बार बात करेंगे, अभी दवाई खा के आओ, you know. So it reached a point where in 2012 I just decided I will switch to holistic wellness. I will not prescribe medications, not that people don't need them, but those who need them, I refer them to my colleagues who are, who prescribe medications. I have
Correct.
not prescribed a medication. I only talk about holistic wellness lifestyle. And
Okay.
so I think that's sufficient.
या डेफिनेटली एंड तो आज का जो टॉपिक है मल्टीटास्किंग, जो है वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है बिकॉज इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड अभी तो हम लोग एआई टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में भी बात कर रहे हैं एंड इट्स एवरीथिंग इज लाइक मशीन ड्रिवन लाइफस्टाइल जो होता है एंड इन दिस लाइफस्टाइल पीपल थिंक दैट कि भाई मल्टीटास्किंग इज some kind of an art that each one feels that अगर मैं multitask करूँ तो मैं they feel like something great about themselves. What is your take on that?
Yeah, so this is one of the biggest myths. So do you want me to speak primarily in English or in Hindi or
कोई
English?
भी मिक्स करके भी चलेगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
So by and large, this biggest myth, people love to believe that they can multitask because they think that they are increasing their efficiency. But productivity and activity are two different things. Activity means आप कुछ कर रहे हैं, आप busy हैं. Productivity means that activity is producing results.
Hmm.
Multitasking is going to bring errors, more errors, slowness in task completion. I mean, the list is endless. I've just completed a book on memory, and multitasking is an enemy of memory, is a chapter in the book. It's online, it's free. Everybody can access it. Whatever I speak today everything will be from that book. So, they can refer to that. There are any number of studies about brain shrinkage. Stress hormone gets released.
Hmm.
So many harmful effects. I don't need to spend time on that. I would rather spend time on the positive, message that we can take today about how to avoid it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a myth. It's a most harmful thing. It reduces efficiency and it should not be done. At least mindless multitasking should not be done. There's another chapter in the book, mindful versus mindless multitasking. So mindless multitasking is extremely harmful, which means that you're trying to do two tasks which require your complete focus and attention. Driving, cooking, dealing with fire. The certain very, very essential tasks which should not be combined with anything else.
Hmm. That is very important thing. So, I mean, can we talk about negative impacts of multitasking?
Yeah, definitely.
Because
So,
if we talk about negative impacts, people will know how to avoid those. You know.
so I will give you practical examples.
Yes,
You
please.
come home, you have a car key in your hand, house key in your hand, right? You enter the house and somebody calls. Or you watch TV or something distracts you. You start doing that. You might go and put your car key somewhere, house key somewhere, and then you will spend a lot of time. Most human beings waste maximum amount of time looking for things. One example, you would have seen people chashma idhar laga ke, they are roaming around the house looking for the spectacles. The typical cartoons. Once I was actually talking to my husband on the phone, and I'm continuously telling him I can't find my phone. Where is my phone? And then he said, are you using the landline to talk to me? I said, oh, the phone is on my ear. Now, let me give you the most practical example. I have a medicine in my hand that I must take, hypertension, blood pressure medicine, and phone call comes, TV, any distraction. I'm walking around. Probably I keep the tablet somewhere and I've forgotten about it. Now,
Hmm.
after some time, I cannot remember, did I take it? Did I not take it? Both are harmful. If I take it again, it's harmful. If I didn't take it, and I can't find it, right? I go around the house looking for a small tablet. It's impossible. So there are any number of practical examples. But when you talk about research, so let's talk about, so there are three kinds, components to health. There's physical health, body, mental health, mind, and social well-being, which is relationships. Let's talk about the physical health. You do mindless eating, you will overeat. You will not pay attention to what you're eating.
Hmm.
You probably tend to, so a lot of times you may say we are watching TV and you keep on eating, you've forgotten. What happens? Our brain has a satiety center. It gives signals back to our body to stop eating when it is full. So it takes about 10 minutes for that signal to come, and you may have noticed whenever you gulp food, you will feel overfull because you're not listening to the signals, right? Because you're gulping food down. After 10 minutes, brain says, "Oh, stop, stop, stop," but you have already stuffed. You will feel now, while watching TV, sometimes you can even ignore those signals,
Hmm.
talking on the phone. So overeating, you don't pay attention to what you're eating. You may be eating too much of sweets or, high fat food. One. Two, digital multitasking is the most common. You're watching TV, all blue screens around us, right? Phone is in the hand, TV is on. Most of us are doing that while we are trying to sleep. So the blue light effect, I'll not even talk about, but digital multitasking is going to ruin your sleep. It's going
Hmm.
to ruin your sleep, and sleep is one of the most essential necessities for memory. So automatically it becomes an enemy of memory. Then multitasking, especially digital multitasking, you tend to become sedentary. Your lifestyle becomes, you're sitting down most of the time, right? It's not like you're walking around. Exercise will get missed. A lot of essential things will get missed. And then the physical, I told you, brain shrinkage can happen. Our capacity to focus on a single task goes down when you multitask. And it's there's enough research on this. In fact, what has happened is, because there are so many stimuli coming to us throughout the course of the day, attend to this, then this, then this, then notification, phone. So what happens? Human beings capacity to focus deeply on any one topic is anyways going down. Then
Hmm.
there's the phenomenon of Google effect, digital amnesia. What is that? Anything which I can easily access on the web, I don't try to remember that. If I
Hmm.
talk to my mother-in-law or my mother and I ask them, where is your phone book? What is a phone book? How do you call? They remember the phone numbers. The other day, some woman was not able to give me her husband's phone number. She says, you know what, actually, I don't remember. We don't try it, and the best way to sharpen your memory is to use it. We have stopped using our memory. Rather, we are destroying it through trying to do. So what is attention? Attention is like a torch. Okay. I throw the torch. So supposing you have lost some small item in the house at night. If you switch the light on, sometimes you cannot find it. Switch the light off, take the torch and show it at different spots. You will probably find it. Why is that? Because when the light is on, our mind is looking at many things. When the torch is focused on one area, you are only focused on that little area. Now imagine our attention is like the torch. And if I tell you, can you throw the torch in this corner and this corner, can you do that? So what happens if you tell me, supposing you're sitting there, right? Here, and I'm sitting here. You say, throw the torch here. I'll put the torch here, then back. So what is happening? I'm wasting time in switching the torch position. So all is
Yeah.
happening is I'm leaving some light behind and a trail of light, and then here. Likewise, our attention, some attention residue is remaining here. So multitasking is nothing but task switching. We are
Switching. Yeah.
switching from one task to the other. So obviously the efficiency is going down. I'll ask anybody, you try to do three things at the same time. I'm on my book. In my book, there is how multitasking damages the brain. Are you a multitasker? There are tests. You become slower at any one task. Even if you're doing three tasks, you're watching a movie, you keep on rewinding. You're watching a match, you keep on rewinding. You're neither following the match very well. You don't remember, did I put the salt in the vegetable or the
Yeah.
spice? You will not remember, and you will be wasting more time. If you think back, there are 2% people in the world who are super taskers. They actually have the ability to multitask. I used to think I'm the 2%. I was not. Recently, I tell you, recently I got a ticket for what? For going through a stop sign. And I
Oh.
have no recollection. Can you imagine the tragedy? Supposing I was in a rush, and I thought, okay, nobody's there, I'll go through the stop sign. That's still better than me having no recollection, which means I was either talking on the phone or my mind was off. I have just skipped and there was no traffic on either side. I've just gone. I've paid $150. Look at the wastage that happens. So, I endless limit. I have at least 100 examples of multitasking in that article, but I've given you the most important, the practical ones. Your learning gets affected, your memory gets, short-term memory gets, we have limited working memory.
Correct.
If you overtax it, it's not going to work because what? How does memory work? First, the process is encoding, then
Hmm.
storage, and then retrieval. Supposing I've ordered something online, all right? I have to receive it, right? Before I store it in the house, I have to receive it. Supposing I don't receive it, and then I start looking for something that I did. So encoding is like receiving the signal. We have five senses, right? We see something. So I
Yeah.
see something and I remember, I hear something, I smell something, I touch something, I taste something. So
Right.
outside information is coming into me through these senses, right? Once it comes inside, now I have to store it. So I've received one article. Now I will go and store it. Now when I
Hmm.
want, I have to retrieve it. Third process. If the encoding itself is deficient, I have not received the article. Where am I going to store it and how am I going to retrieve it? So the main problem of multitasking, it affects our encoding process. I'm trying to use four senses at the same time. I have not encoded the information, so it will not get stored properly. And obviously, I cannot retrieve it because it
Retrieve it.
depends on the first two processes, right? So
Yeah.
it's all scientific, it makes sense. But when we want to do five things, why do we want to do five things? Because we want to do a million things, but none of them well. So the best way is to choose what is the most important thing and focus on that.
So in spite of knowing the fact that हम लोग multitasking, I mean, I don't know if people know or not, but still
People
we
don't know. See, that's the
uh,
problem. It's ignorance. People
ignore it.
think their productivity is going up, only their activity is going up. The results are poorer.
Poorer, yeah. So only thing is like instead of 50%, they are able to achieve 30% because they are multitasking three things at the same time. And
There are
there are
even studies about IQ. There are
mm,
studies about IQ. There's mental fatigue. I mean, it's endless. The list is endless.
wow, wow,
The other
interesting.
important thing, the other very important thing, this chat GPT and AI, it is ruining our creativity. In any case, creativity requires deep thinking and focus.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree
to
with
write
you.
a poem, to write a story, your creativity is going down, stress is going up. Why do you want that? Why do you want my services when you can avoid them?
Yeah, and interestingly, AI आने से या चैट जीपीटी आने से लोगों का जैसे कि आपने बोला, the creativity has actually come down to be
Originality. Okay, now we are talking about the harmful impacts. Okay, so I
yeah,
talked about the body, right? I said
yeah,
about sleep,
yeah,
exercise, mindless
yeah,
eating. Now I talked about the mind. Everything about the mind gets, goes haywire. Let's
yeah,
talk about the social well-being, relationships. Relationships are the worst sufferer with multitasking. Can you imagine you're talking to somebody and somebody's eyes are on the phone? How irritating it is. You're
wow.
talking to somebody, they're watching TV, huh? Huh? Relationships can get ruined between partners, between children. What is the reason that grandparents are more popular than parents? Have you wondered about that?
Yeah,
Kids love grandparents much more than parents. Of course, there are many reasons. One of the primary reasons is parents are multitasking while dealing with the children.
with the children.
Grandparents are fully focused on you focus the child, even the child knows I'm not getting the required attention, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking to your spouse, is he's doing working, doing something else, and You can tell from the responses they have not. What did you say on the phone, right? You're talking to somebody
Yeah.
on the phone, or somebody saying, "You never told me." Of course, we are not recording conversations. I know I told you. The person says, "You never told me." People are, so many times we have these little groups, ladies groups, couple groups, whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
The lady did not land up. She said, "Oh, you know what? I thought it was at 2:30. Oh, it was at 1. Okay, I'll start now." So people are, why are you forgetting? Because you're trying to do too many things. When somebody is telling you the time, you're doing something else. Your mind is somewhere else. The torch is throwing the light somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Relationships are and relationships will affect everything else, right? A relationship is spoiled, our mood is spoiled, the rest of the day is gone.
Yeah, totally agree with you because I have seen in many groups myself when we post something, people don't see that. And then again, they try to post the same thing after 1 day or after 2 hours or something.
How
Okay,
annoying is it? How
how
annoying.
annoying. Arey bhai, just scroll two message above. It has been posted already. You're posting the same thing. I mean, what are you up to, right? You're in the group.
So
And
sorry to interrupt you. This comes from another human trait of a lot of people between active listening and passive listening, right? And hearing.
yeah.
Sometimes hearing means only ears are doing the job. Listening means the brain has come into
Brain
the
is,
picture, right? You're
yeah.
processing, you're
Yeah.
processing what you heard. Now you're listening actively, right? Most of us are not listening. We are waiting for the other person to stop so that we can start speaking.
Yeah.
So I am more interested in my thing, exactly what you said. So I'm not reading what everybody's sending me. I'm only interested in sharing what I want to share. And where am I, what am I learning? Nothing, right? Because if I don't have time for you when you need me, why will you have time for me when I need you, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm not reading anybody's forward, no, they are also not reading my forwards, right? So why am I wasting my time doing that? I mean, it's very sad. The whole digital multitasking is very sad.
It is actually. And
More
there
is
are,
beautiful, more is beautiful is never true.
yeah. Let's take a quick break here and we'll come back on the
Yeah.
more on the multitasking.
शाम है जाम है और है नशा तन भी है मन भी है पिघला हुआ छाई है रंगीनियाँ फिर भी है बेताबियाँ क्यों धड़कता है दिल क्यों ये कहता है दिल दीवानों को अब तक नहीं है ये पता आज की रात होना है क्या आना है क्या होना है क्या आज की रात होना है क्या आना है क्या होना है क्या
आज की रात होना है क्या, पाना है क्या, खोना है क्या, आज की रात होना है क्या, पाना है क्या, खोना है क्या।
Welcome back to Bharat Anveshan. This is your host Rajiv Kulkarni. Once again, welcoming you all. Today is March 30th, 2025. Happy Gudi Padwa and happy Yugadi and happy Eid to all of you. And जो जहाँ जहाँ बैठ के मना रहे हैं और एक हमारे प्रोग्राम भी देख रहे हैं, thank you very much for watching our show and supporting our channel as always. And एक अच्छा सा कमेंट आया है, थैंक यू राजीव फॉर ब्रिंगिंग सच ए गुड स्पीकर एंड अ रेलेवेंट टॉपिक. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर सच ब्यूटीफुल कमेंट, क्योंकि in today's world we need that these kind of topics to be discussed. हालांकि जैसे हमने ब्रेक के पहले बात की है, पीपल डोंट पे मच अटेंशन in what they are doing because they are so engaged, they are so engrossed in their activities. They think that by doing multitasking, they are going to achieve a lot of things in other. Actually क्या होता है, वो थोड़ा बहुत रिवर्स होने लगता है. It backfires as we are discussing. So we have Dr. Reshma Hingorani ji, जो Washington DC से हैं, and she is an expert in psychiatrist. She is an expert psychiatrist, and she deals in many of these human psychology and beautiful topics she covers, and her humorous way of putting those things are phenomenal. So please check her out on the social media and on Facebook हुआ या Reshma ji, welcome back. Do you have also Insta link? Yes, sir.
I'm not very active on social media because I mostly work on my website and I share the links directly. One thing I
Yes.
want to congratulate you. See what you do this break, it's
Ah.
very important because our what we call cognition, right? The brain,
Yes.
what the ability of the brain to focus on anything is not more than 25 minutes. So
Correct.
we usually make a rule, after every 25 minutes you should take a 5-minute break. So you automatically did that because the minute you take a break and then you come back, then your mind is again ready for the similar task or a different task.
Absolutely true.
So you did good on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And in fact, I practice that even in my work habit as well, because every 20-25 minutes, if I'm sitting continuously, I get up, I just 5 minutes, I take a break and then come back. And I think probably that is out of habit, I would say.
But a word of caution there, daldal hota hai na?
हाँ.
Daldal quicksand. So digital, distractions are like daldal. आप सोचते हैं 5 minutes का I'm taking a break, so I will suggest to everybody who is productive that they should put an alarm. There are always these little timers or something. Put a timer or something even on your phone if you're going on the phone. After 5 minutes, get back to work because human beings are hardwired for pleasure principle. प्लेजर के पास और पेन से परे. तो जो
Yeah,
पेनफुल टास्क है, जो काम खत्म करना है, उधर मन नहीं करता. तो द मिनट यू टेक द ब्रेक और प्लेजर के पास 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 जाते जाते सडनली यू रियलाइज, अरे 2 घंटा निकल गया, चलो अब तो टाइम निकल ही गया है. तो आई विल टेल यू अ जोक ऑन दिस. तो
please do.
पंजाबी में वो बोलते हैं, हाउ टू गेट द कार रिवर्स्ड. किसी को बोले ना कार रिवर्स करना है, तो पंजाबी में वो बोलते हैं, जान दे जान दे जान दे, ठा ते रहन दे. मतलब okay, go and if you hear a sound then stop.
Then-
तो उसका मैंने एक उसका फॉरवर्ड एक उसका एक्सटेंशन जोक बनाया है कि जान दे जान दे जान दे ठा हुन जान दे, कि अब तो लगी गई ना, अब तो चलता ही चल तू पीछे. तो ये चीज ना मल्टीटास्किंग में बहुत होती है. आप सोचते हैं मैं 5 मिनट जान दे करते, ठा आता है ना जब आपका अलार्म बजता है, अगर आप वो अलार्म मिस कर दिए, फिर लगता है अब यार 2 घंटा निकल गया, अभी 4 और भी, अब छोड़ो कल कर लेंगे काम. तो वो फिर हुण जान दे में जब आप पहुंचते हो ना कि अब तो जाने ही दो, उससे क्या
uh,
होगा, अगला दिन विल बी लाइक अ बिग माउंटेन, बिकॉज कल का भी काम है और यस्टरडे का भी काम है और टुमारो का भी काम
तुम्हारा
जुड़
का
जाता
भी काम है,
है। तो
बिल्कुल।
टेक ब्रेक्स with great caution. Either take a break with another unpleasant task, then you may come back. But if you go to a digital distraction, please use an alarm or a timer.
Fantastic input, रेशमा जी, सॉरी रेशमा, एंड
हाँ, अभी
थैंक यू।
ठीक है।
हाँ, अभी ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच। तो ये माइंडलेस मल्टीटास्किंग क्या होता है?
तो माइंडलेस मैंने बताया ना, टॉर्च इधर भी डाल रहे हैं, इधर भी डाल
अच्छा।
रहे हैं। सो
हाँ।
फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम ड्राइविंग, राइट?
हम्म।
नाउ व्हेन आई एम ड्राइविंग, आई हैव, माय फादर यूज्ड टू टेल मी, बेटा आपको सिर्फ अपना ध्यान से नहीं चलाना, यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल ऑफ अदर पीपल्स मिस्टेक्स, somebody else may be coming through, somebody else may be multitasking and coming through the stop sign like me, or going
करेक्ट।
through the red, and you think I have right of way. So when you are driving, for example, थिंकिंग दैट आई कैन टॉक ऑन द फोन, ब्लूटूथ में कुछ कर नहीं रही हूँ, नहीं है हमारा कैपेसिटी। ह्यूमन बीइंग्स वर नॉट गिफ्टेड विद द पावर ऑफ फोकसिंग अटेंशन ऑन टू प्लेसेस, ओके? सो ड्राइविंग, mindless multitasking will be driving and doing anything else. Worst thing will be to hold a phone in your hand and trying to do something. Be at home, relaxed, put your map, start your map, then get into the car, wear your seat belt, start. Once you start, do not pick up the phone in your hand. If you think, yeah, I'm lost, stop car, stop somewhere, pull over, stop, put the map again. Do not talk on the phone, handle papers, turn around looking at the scenery. No, sorry. All that is not necessary. But mindful multitasking, on the other hand, can be that you're going for a walk. You can maybe talk to a friend, listen to a podcast, or listen to music. Even then, I will tell you what will happen. You will not be able to communicate with nature. You will miss the birds, you will miss the rustling of the leaves, you will miss the beautiful rainbow or sky, cloud formations, You may miss all that, but still, at least, harm is not coming. Some benefit may be less, but still,
करेक्ट।
you can talk to somebody, listen to music, listen to a podcast, whatever your favorite channel. That is still not mindless. Okay.
या।
The other thing is, you have grandkids or kids, you're choring together, doing laundry, folding laundry, for example. That part, that time you can, where the mind is not involved so much, spinal. We call certain things spinal functions, right? That you are not thinking too much when you're folding laundry. There are many boring, repetitive tasks. You can combine those with something, but cooking, for example, handling fire. So many times I know people put the tea on, they're trying to do something. My mother used to say, no matter what you do, the minute you turn away, the milk is going to boil over at that time. For that 5 seconds, you turn your head. So what happens? Your gas is burnt, your, patila jalega, gas jalega. You spend 2 hours cleaning, feeling irritated right at the wrong time. You don't remember to put the spices or not. Did I put the sugar or not? Then you are trying to taste. No need, especially with the fire. Iron. I have seen so many times people have burnt their clothes. They're ironing their clothes. Some 1 minute, something they go, they don't remember the fire. The iron is on the cloth. Come back, burnt. So when you're dealing with some live fire or heat or something like that, please don't multitask. Driving, please don't multitask. When you're dealing in relationships, please don't multitask. That is mindless. If I see 1 million places on this earth, there'll still be places I've not seen.
या।
I will taste 1 billion types of food. There'll still be food items that I've not tasted. There is no limit now with the websites and with the information available. There is no limit, right, to the number of experiences I can have. What is important is the quality of life. No, in Anand film, he says, na, zindagi badi honi chahiye, lambi nahi.
लंबी नहीं, करेक्ट।
Point of having billion experiences and not maza ek mein bhi nahi aaya. Do 10 things well, right?
या।
Be successful in 10 things.
सो इसको नॉर्मली, आई मीन, हाउ पीपल कैन अवॉइड गेटिंग इनटू दीज काइंड ऑफ माइंडलेस मल्टीटास्किंग?
Do
आई
you
मीन,
know?
या,
Sorry. Yeah, go on,
गो
go on.
अहेड। नहीं नहीं, आई मीन, हम लोग ये बोल सकते हैं कि मत करो, बस But
नहीं बता रही हूँ. The maximum amount of research that has been, so there are, I don't know if our readers, I mean our viewers know this. There are three kinds of medicines which are practiced, and I'm sorry I keep introducing different topics about wellness.
no, it is very important,
So there is
Reshma. Yeah.
complementary medicine. Okay. There is alternative medicine. Right? People sometimes get confused. There's complementary and alternative medicines called CAM, CAM. So one is an allopathic medicine, what people understand, right? What we go to the medical school and learn all these, Western medicine. That's one. Then there are complementary medicine, which is used in addition to, so supposing allopathy. Somebody may say, can I also do this? Can I do aromatherapy? Can I do color therapy in addition to what we are doing? That is complementing the original therapy.
Mm.
Then there are alternative therapies, homeopathy. In India, we have Ayush, right? Ayurveda, Unani, there is Tibetan medicine, Chinese medicine. They are alternative medicines, which means you don't take allopathic medicines, you only take homeopathic or Ayurvedic or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, CAM, complementary and alternative medicines, NIH, National Institute of Health in the US, on their website, they have listed about 150 of those. On my website, I have about 250 of those. One of them is acupuncture, acupressure, all of these, which you have heard, Tai Chi, yoga. Mindfulness is one of them. The maximum research, positive research around the world is done on two things. One is prayer, other is
Oh.
mindfulness. Now, prayer, some skeptic may still say, you know what, because prayer is faith healing. No, when you believe in something, then that faith itself helps. Yes, true. Mindfulness, there is no mumbo jumbo about mindfulness, right? What is mindfulness? Focus your torch on one thing. When you're eating, use your five senses and eat, right? When you're exercising, okay, listen to music if it stimulates you, okay? When you're working, maybe listen to instrumental music. Do not listen to vocal music because that can also be distracting with the words. But instrumental music sometimes will enhance your productivity. So those are mindful multitasking, that you're combining two activities which are, for example, want to learn a new cooking recipe and I'm also cooking that. So mindful multitasking is doing similar kind of tasks. Mindless
Correct.
is doing two absolutely opposite kind of tasks which require my complete attention and focus, right? So, as we are walking along, I'm giving you examples from our daily life. So, complementary and alternative medicine, mindfulness, practice mindfulness all the time. When you start doing something, tell yourself, I am going to do just this and nothing else. You're watching a movie, enjoy a movie. Watching a match, watch the match. What's the point, oh, I missed the six, I missed this, IPL is on. So I'm talking about this. You go in between sometime. I mean, I remember I would pause and then go to the toilet and come back because I don't want to miss somebody's batting. So if you are that involved in something, the results are miraculous. Your brain functioning is also optimal. I told you, people who multitask, their brains get affected. Physically, their brains get affected. We have done functional magnetic resonance imaging, what we call MRI.
MRI, yeah.
Functional MRIs, they have put people under the scanner, people who are multitasking and people who are doing a single task. They're finding that the brain goes through structural changes. There are neuronal connections which get affected. Do you want that? There is
Wow.
neuroplasticity. People used to think brain is now solid. Once you're born, you're over the hill by 30, then it starts declining. That's a myth. Neuroplasticity is the truth. Let me show our viewers. Christmas lights. You all know Christmas lights. So
Yes.
year by year, what happens? Some of the wires will not work. Some of the bulbs will not work. So next year, fewer, less. After three,
Correct.
4 years, you find, oh, too many bulbs are gone. So why
Yeah.
you buy another Christmas light and then you add two? You keep on doing, you can add 10 and keep on having equal brightness bulbs. Our brain circuits are exactly like Christmas lights. There are neurons and there are wires, neuronal connections. Unfortunately, we cannot buy new Christmas lights for our brain. So what is happening? Multitasking is fusing the bulbs, killing the wires, the connections. So what
Mm.
is happening? Our bulbs are becoming fewer. Now, what happens in dementia? Bulbs are fewer and fewer, connections are fewer and fewer. So, why do we talk about mind gym,
Mm.
puzzles, brain teasers, right? Exercises for the brain. What happens? All we are doing is we are lighting more bulbs. Another myth, we use only 10% of our brain. Einstein used to use 12%. Biggest myth, we use 100% of the brain 100% of the times. Some part of the brain is active for something or the other. Now, the more you stimulate your brain, the more you try to remember things, the more bulbs will light up. So what will happen? Either you can buy more bulbs, or you can start with more and more bulbs and more efficient connections, so that after 55, when the aging process starts, the memory starts to fail, the bulbs start to fuse, you still have enough to survive,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
How important is that?
Yeah.
I don't remember my phone number, I don't remember your phone number. Try to remember. Don't
Yeah.
think, I'll tell you a joke on this. One of my friends, post graduation, before the final exam, we are walking, and I am very fond of telling jokes. So I said, hey, let me tell you a joke. He says, नहीं नहीं, मुझे जोक नहीं सुनाना. तुमने इधर से जोक सुनाया ना, इधर से मेरा एक एनेस्थीसिया का फैक्ट बाहर गिर जाएगा. अरे, ये कोई रैक है जिस पर सब कुछ सजा हुआ है कि इधर से मैंने चीज डालेगा, इधर से गिर जाएगा? सॉरी, brain doesn't work like that. Strain your brain as much as you can by trying to memorize things,
Yeah.
encode, pay attention, focus, so that
Yeah.
you encode properly. Then the storage. Another interesting thing I'll tell you, memory storage is dependent on two things. Music will enhance your memory, and number two, emotions will affect your memory. So you will
Mm.
realize that when we think back, we think of all the painful memories, or we think of the pleasant memories, right? Nostalgia. We don't
Right.
much remember things that had no emotions involved, right? Millions of things are happening in our life. We tend to remember the painful and the most pleasant. Why? Because our prefrontal cortex, right? We came from apes to human beings. So this part kept on developing, a prefrontal cortex, which is the executive part of the brain. Somewhere inside is the limbic system, amygdala, the emotional seat of the brain. Okay.
Mm.
So what happens when emotions are involved, that part of the brain also kicks in and participates in the memory. So there's hippocampus, which is the main brain area. More you use your brain, the sharper your memory is going to be. And the practical example you see around you, look around you, people who remember a lot of things, remember them because they tried to remember them.
Remember them.
If
Yeah.
you don't try to remember, you remember this joke when Pedro goes to the church and Pedro says, Lord, give me a lottery, give me a lottery, give me a lottery. One day, Lord is so tired of Pedro, he appears before Pedro and says, Pedro, can you please go and buy a lottery ticket? How do you want me to give you a lottery? You don't want to buy a lottery ticket, And with this joke, I remember another one. This guy goes to the temple or whatever place of worship, and he says, it's again in Punjabi. He says, मेरी लॉटरी निकाल दो, मेरी लॉटरी निकाल दो. He's continuously praying, मेरी लॉटरी निकाल दो. He goes out, somebody, Pedro, he has bought the lottery ticket. Somebody pickpocket comes and steals the lot. He goes back to the temple. He says, Baba ji, पूरी गल तो सुन लो, पहले एक्शन ले लेता है तुसी, मेरी पूरी बात तो सुन लो, आप पहले एक्शन लेने पे लगे हुए हो. निकाल दो का मतलब नहीं, मेरा पॉकेट से मेरा लॉटरी निकाल दिया. you know what happens when you, again, humor
Yeah.
is one of the most important things for memory. You tend to remember things more when humor was associated. That is why I use a lot of humor, because when I tell you a joke about humor, let me tell you another one.
Yeah.
So
Please do.
this couple goes to a memory enhancement course, right? And it comes back and very happy. अरे बड़ा अच्छा कोर्स था, ये जो मिल रहा है उसको बता रहा है. फाइनली आई मीट राजीव कुलकर्णी. राजीव, यू हैव टू गो एंड राजीव सेज, ओके, इतना दिमाग चाटा है, बताओ, आई विल गो. नाउ आई कांट tell me the name of the course. Now I can't remember the name of the course. Memory enhancement course. And I'm saying, it come to me, and Rajiv is saying, I mean, you don't even remember. She's wondering, naam tumko yaad nahi hai, tum recommend kar rahe ho. No, it will come to me. Okay, Rajiv, what's that flower? This is a long flower, long stem, red and pink with thorns. Rajiv says, Rose? Right, Rose. Then he turns to his wife and says, Rose, what was the name of the memory enhancement course? You know, you don't want that happening in your life, right? When you
Right.
multitask. Obviously, this guy is sitting in the course and thinking of looking at his WhatsApp university, teaching of
Yeah.
the day. Doesn't remember the name of the course. So humor, music, emotions, all these things enhance, and these can only happen when you are not multitasking,
Hmm.
right?
Wow. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back.
Great.
Yeah.
कोई जाने ना ये कैसी आग है मेरे दिल को डसता ये कैसा नाग है हर घड़ी मैं जिसको ढूंढूं बच के न जाएगा हाँ कहीं ना कहीं तो एक दिन मुझे मिल ही जाएगा दुश्मन मेरा
मुझे ढूंढना आसान है कहाँ ज़मीं देख लो या आसमां मैं एक पल यहाँ मैं एक पल हूँ वहाँ नहीं पाओगे मेरा निशान जो कोई भी मुझको ढूंढे वो कुछ ना पाएगा दिल में ही वो दिल के अरमां वापस ले जाएगा समझे जरा दुश्मन मेरा इन आँखों में है जाने कैसी ज्वाला इसको मत बुझने देना सुन लो मेरा कहना गुस्से में कितनी तुम दिलकश लगती हो जब तक भी रह पाओ तुम गुस्से में ही रहना
तेरा गुस्सा तो देखोगे एक दिन
गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू भारत अन्वेषण। अभी अभी अगर आपने लॉग इन किया है तो आपको बता दूं आज हमारे साथ डॉक्टर रेशमा हिंगोरानी जी है जो वाशिंगटन डीसी में रहती है एंड शी इज अ साइकेट्रिस्ट एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द मल्टीटास्किंग एंड इट्स इफेक्ट ऑन आवर ब्रेन एज वेल एज ऑन आवर हेल्थ। तो रेशमा, वन थिंग आई वांटेड टू चेक इज आर देयर एनी सुपर टास्कर?
Yeah, at the beginning of the program, I told you.
Yeah.
So only 2%,
2%, right, sir.
people amongst us, and so they have the ability to do a lot of tasks at one time, multitasking. But since we do not know who are those 2%, I have a test. I told you on my website, are you a
Yes.
multitasking pro? You can go and take those tests. If you pass those tests, then you are those lucky 2%, go ahead, lead your life that way. I used to think like that, I told you. Then when I learned more about it, and I realized, oh my God, for such a long period of my life, I have been doing this. Probably I've damaged my brain sufficiently by now that my ability to focus on any one task is less People may be thinking, in my genes, what can I do about it? Maybe we did it to ourselves, right? We did
Yeah.
it to ourselves. So वो बोलते हैं ना, जिधर आंख खुलती है वही सवेरा है. So my
बिल्कुल.
request is to go do your own research. Go and ask Chat GPT, should I be multitasking? Or whatever your favorite. I don't want to be promoting any one AI
Yeah, sure, sure.
channel.
So, what is
But I
your
think
website address? Sorry to interrupt.
website is Holistic Wellness Space. Actually, it is difficult to remember. Why don't you put it in the link,
Yeah,
in the
yeah. I'm
link
typing
below?
it. Holistic.
Put two links. Put my website homepage and
Yeah.
also put link for the book. Everything you wanted to know about memory. It has several chapters on multitasking and many jokes on multitasking as well.
Okay.
So please go, and on memory, please go and check it out for yourself. There are all studies are quoted over there. I am a scientist, right? My Holistic Wellness Space website tagline is no mumbo jumbo, 3 simple steps. I always tell, I believe in the power of three. I call them POTS, POT. I will always tell you everything in three-point
Formula.
formula, so it is easy for you to remember.
3 point formula.
Please
Yeah.
please visit that and definitely try to benefit. It's free. You don't have to, and whatever, if you like, people keep telling me, why don't you publish your books? I've written hundreds of books. I don't want to publish a book because then I'm forced to sell it. I don't want to sell, what society has given me, I'm giving back to society. If I publish it, it'll have to have a cost on it. It's free
Yeah.
on the web. Whatever money you are going to pay for it, print out the pages, whatever you like, save those pages. But do go, and a lot of books on wellness, on memory, habits, on, how to cope with grief, humor. I
Yeah.
have 20 books on humor. They can go and check
Yeah.
out.
It's somebody, one of our viewers, they already said it's already in the description. It's
Oh,
already
good.
put. Yeah. So
You have
that's
a good
good.
technical team, no?
Yes, 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 yes. So very good, Reshma. I think we are almost now coming to the end of our show. And so before we wind up, of course, we will be bringing you again with another topic, as I think it will definitely benefit our audience. It will benefit the people, and I myself, get to know, get to learn so many things. And like even जैसे कि आपने ये 2-3 जोक्स बताई है, वो बहुत ही अच्छे. You can refer that whenever you are discussing with people. And so कुछ बातें, कुछ मैसेज आप हमारे ऑडियंस को देना चाहती है.
Yeah, so like I said, mindless multitasking, avoid. Mindful multitasking, find out your own strengths. A lot of people have their spinal activities, things which they don't use their brain very much. Combine with that. And I'll give you 3 tips for memory enhancement as well. So memory, to enhance your memory, I told you the main thing is about the light bulbs, right?
Yeah.
So memory is only part of our general brain functioning. Our brain has language and learning and so many other things, perception. So sharpen your brain. To sharpen your brain, keep on using it a lot of times. And then there is an interesting concept of brain gym. In the US, a lot of schools also practice it. There are a lot of exercises like you do double doodles, make both hands should be doing the same thing. Eight
Ah,
sides, make a heart, or on the paper. Both hands, use both hands. Some research says that both left and right brain quad. There's not enough research on this, but why not try, something, even if it is part questionable. Cross crawl, right elbow,
hmm.
left knee, cross crawl, air doodles, paper doodles, right? Infinity sign, make an infinity sign with both hands. So there are a lot of these brain gym physical exercises, bodily, all of yoga exercises, yogasan, dancing, all of these are brain gym. Then there is mind gym, puzzles, brain teasers, keep on doing them, crosswords, etc. That way, what happens when our brain is sharpened, memory is only part of the brain function, right? So when the brain is sharpened, the memory is also sharpened. That's one. Second way to enhance your memory is by not multitasking, so that your encoding process of memory is good. Because if the encoding is good, your storage and retrieval will be better. And the third tip is, there are memory improvement specific tips just for memory. physical aids, people use their calendars and, reminders to do. Then digital apps are available nowadays. So many, in my book I have about 10 different techniques, mnemonics,
Hmm.
acronyms. Like, you make for example, in my wellness, I have three acronyms. A cup of tea for the mind, T for positive thoughts, E for positive emotions, A for positive actions. So I try to
Wow.
remember, cup of tea for your mind. I talk about easy formula for your body. First E for eating, second E for exercise, and Z sign symbol for sleeping. If you eat, exercise, and sleep well, your body is taken care of. Positive thoughts, emotions, actions, mind is taken care of. रिश्तों के रईस कैसे बने? R for relationships, A for animate world, all that is living,
Yeah.
nature, animals, human beings, plants, everything. A, animate world. I, inanimate world. Nature again, mountains, rivers, art, music. I. S for self. My relationship with myself. Okay.
Wow.
Now include mindfulness, everything. So रिश्तों के रईस बनने के लिए relationship with animate world, inanimate world, self. So easy formula for body, cup of tea for mind, rice for relationships. So these are what mnemonics.
Mnemonics. Yeah.
Start with the, so these are so many techniques available for memory enhancement. They are all in the book. So I think that's enough summarizing of the topic for today.
Very nice. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning and sharing your wealth of knowledge on human mind, human brain, yeah, human psychology,
Wellness. Let's call it wellness.
wellness, yeah, human wellness. And we look forward to having you again in the coming weeks or months,
Definitely,
and
definitely.
with yet another new topic which would benefit everyone. With
It'll
that
be my
said,
pleasure. It'll be my pleasure. And also, I want to apologize for talking very fast, because whenever there are recorded programs and recordings are available, I want to put in as much as I can, because people can
absolutely, no, no, it was perfect. It was not very
go back
fast.
and revisit
Yes,
revisit
yes.
it.
People can watch it, आराम से देख सकते हैं. And I thank all the audience, whoever could watch today. I know it is challenging when you have the multitasking activity like IPL show, cricket match चलता है, and definitely you cannot multitask watching our show, but you can watch it at a leisure because it is available on our YouTube channel. Thank you, Sandeep, for being there, for technically supporting always by A and V perspective. And yes, इसके साथ आज का हम कार्यक्रम यहीं पे समाप्त करेंगे, और वी विल मीट अगेन नेक्स्ट वीक विद another interesting personality. And actually there are few people will be joining us. It's about an association, and so we will have more discussion on that next week. Until then, please take care of yourself. जहाँ पे भी है तंदुरुस्त रहिए, खुश रहिए, और एकदम टेंशन नहीं लेने का, टेंशन देने का. बस ये बोलते हुए ये बोलते हुए आपका दोस्त, आपका होस्ट राजीव कुलकर्णी और एक एपिसोड को साइन ऑफ करता हुआ. थैंक यू वेरी मच. टेक केयर ऑफ योर सेल्फ. बाय.